stop the hatred on the House's community.
A shocking double death just a day apart. An SAPD making one arrest, but questions are still remaining today. What police are revealing about the suspect and the ongoing investigation.
We're getting more information this morning about a raid that ended with 150 people arrested, what authorities said led up to that raid, and the timeline that we're going to break down for you coming up in just a bit.
Are you hitting the road today? We're going to look at some of the travel issues across the state and the extended forecast going through Thanksgiving coming up.
All right, but we're going to start at the top of 6 o'clock here with a traffic alert. We're going to get you to that in just a bit. Real quick, just want to update our folks on the northeast side of town. Still dealing with some pretty good delays. Backups here, about 15-20-minute delays coming up from 35, 410. This is going to be our biggest issue in terms of our traffic, but right now we are following the very latest with a major water main break north of the downtown San Antonio area. This is along Broadway Street, so not affecting any of our major highways along 281 and 35 and 37. But let's go to Alex Gomez right now, who's been covering this for us for the better parts of over an hour now. Alex, what is the latest out there? We know a lot of people are being affected by this.
Yeah, and you can see right here in the shot that workers right here from Carmelita's Mexican restaurant, they're just coming out and they're surveying the damage. This is affecting some of their parking situation right here because right next to it, you can see SAPD has already blocked this off with tape. They even put barricades right here because Broadway Street is going to be unsafe right now. It's completely flooded with water because of the water main break. And you can just see the water flowing right there in the shot. So Broadway Street is going to be completely shut down in between Josephine and Alamo Street. So your detour right now is going to be to take North Alamo all the way down through this area. Avenue B as well is going to be completely flooded. So temporarily, until that water recedes, Avenue B is also going to be shut down at the moment. But again, this repair job is being estimated to be completely done in at least 1 to 2 days, RJ.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. And we're going to keep this shot up again. So we noticed this around 4 o'clock this morning. We had low water pressure here at our building here at KSAT 12. And you see that water continues to spill out onto that one chunk of Broadway Street. This will likely affect some businesses later on this morning. Alex will continue to follow the very latest out there. Major water main break over by Broadway at Josephine. But let's go now to our Weather Authority meteorologist, Justin Horn, because very busy so far, Justin, on this Monday morning.
Kind of ironic. We'll see that's non-weather related, but we could see some weather-related wet roads as we get into the southwestern portion of our city here with these storms now starting to roll in. So these are the storms we've been tracking throughout the morning. I'm going to put this into motion for you, and you can see they're starting to work in across the southwestern portion of the city, just crossing now into 1604. And let's pause it again, and I'm going to zoom in and show you where some of the heavier rain is. Now this is I-35 right here. This is 1604, so right where those cross. And we just got an update with these storms. So this is now moving a little bit closer up to 410. Again, 35 right there. You got Garza crossing, and this is going to get a little closer to 410 within here in the next few minutes. This is not severe. In fact, we're not even really seeing a lot of lightning strikes with this, but it is going to be some good heavy rain, and that's going to continue to track into the city. These are moving pretty quickly, I'll tell you that. But let's go ahead and put a tracker on this, and we can get a good idea. Let's say 25 miles per hour for the speed. And this is going to cross over, let's say, Lanier High School at 625. Obviously, we don't have school this morning, but just to give you sort of a locator, Brackenridge High School 626, the Convention Center around 628. So if these storms hold together, that's what you can expect. And if you are headed to work, I know some people are still working today, just know there will be some wet roads and you may have to use your windshield wipers for a time. We'll continue to keep you updated there. But know there is a 40% chance of rain, showers, and storms this morning. We'll keep that going through 2, maybe even 4 o'clock. That's when the front moves to, and then we clear out. So any evening plans tonight, you're just fine. But this morning, please have the umbrella with you and be prepared to either dodge some of these storms this morning or just some drizzle and light rain throughout today. So drizzle, showers, a storm through 4 p.m. That's the main headline. And then by Wednesday, we get a cold front by sunrise, windy and cooler, and Thanksgiving, comfortable and sunny. So good looking weather there. Again, we're going to talk travel too coming up. There's a lot to get to in the forecast, and we'll talk more about it here in just a few minutes.
Hey there, you're watching Good Morning San Antonio. I'm Patty Santos. This morning we are learning more about that federal raid that resulted in the arrest of 150 people. And we are learning that that area that was raided it was under surveillance for several weeks before that raid took place. Now take a look. This is a mugshot. According to court documents that were obtained by KSAT, this is Luis Amador Castillo Hernandez. He was arrested for delivering cocaine on San Pedro Avenue. Now take a look at this surveillance video from the businesses of that raid. Court documents say DPS and the FBI arranged 2 controlled buys in late September and early November. Now 1 week after that second buy, 14 law enforcement agencies raided a nightclub near San Pedro and Bassi. Officials say many of the immigrants taken into ICE custody may have ties to a Venezuelan gang. The immigrants are said to be from Venezuela, Honduras, and Mexico, among other Latin American countries. Meanwhile, Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones and Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro and Greg Casar have requested information from federal authorities regarding that raid on November 16th. Especially, they're asking for the immigration status of those who were detained. Jones says the information is going to ensure that law enforcement is, quote, meeting our mutual goals of maintaining both public safety and public trust. Now, this story continues to be one of the most read stories on our website. That tells us that you're very interested in the latest developments of this story. We're going to continue to keep you updated on what happens this week. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Patty Santos.
We're expecting SAPD to release some more information soon about a suspect in the murders of 2 homeless men found dead just a day apart. Now, community members did gather on Sunday night for a vigil honoring 29-year-old Daryl Fields and 62-year-old Perry Baca, both experiencing homelessness. Their bodies discovered within a half mile of each other. Police have arrested 18-year-old Noah West, charging him with one of the murders. SAPD says that they're not looking for additional suspects because the cases appear to be connected. People at the vigil say that violence against the homeless is far too common in San Antonio.
If it weren't for my friends and other people who had caught that incident over by Walsham and 35, I'd have died.
An affidavit says that West was seen on surveillance video with an item police believed he used to kill Fields and Baca. This morning, authorities have identified the man killed in a Southside crash as 41-year-old Robert Flores. Police say the toxicology results and court filings are expected to come in days, and investigators are asking anyone with video or information from the South Flores area to come forward. And San Antonio police say that it happened around 2 a.m. yesterday on South Flores, and this is near Mary Street, as Flores was crossing the street. A 21-year-old driver struck him, stayed on the scene, though, and called police. DWI units determined the driver was intoxicated, and he was arrested on a charge of intoxication manslaughter. The victim, unfortunately, though, died at the scene.
Well, this morning we're expecting an update from SAPD on the condition of an officer and another driver hurt in a crash on the west side, and investigators are working to piece together what exactly caused this collision. So this all happened just before 6:30 last night at North General McMullen and Blue Ridge Street. Take a look at that map right there. The San Antonio Fire Department confirms a San Antonio police officer and another driver were both injured and taken to the hospital. Again, though, we're still waiting to learn how seriously they were injured and whether any body camera footage or witness statements can help clarify how this crash unfolded.
Fiesta Community Mourning. J.J. Gonzalez, he was known as Fiesta's Mr. Chicken, passed away over the weekend. And today we're planning on visiting with his family, who did tell us that he passed away after a years-long battle with kidney cancer. And Gonzalez, who brought the famous Mr. Chicken's booth to Fiesta and served delicious chicken on a stick, has been a part of San Antonio's signature celebration for over 30 years. But to those close to him, they say that he was more than that. We heard from them earlier in the 5 o'clock newscast, where JJ, again, just 50 years old.
All right, our prayers to JJ and his family. Well, new developments this morning in the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. The Justice Department has asked a federal judge in Florida to reconsider unsealing grand jury materials related to that investigation. A judge previously rejected a DOJ request to make the transcripts public, and the department is trying once again, now that Congress has passed a bill demanding the release of all documents related to the convicted sex offender's case. It's still not clear what files the Justice Department will release or if it will not release because of some ongoing investigations. Okay, switching gears. How about them Dallas Cowboys? Your Cowboys beat Philly at Jerry World 24-21 yesterday afternoon, storming back from being down 21-0 early in the game. This is the first time the Cowboys have beaten the Eagles since 2023, and they tied a record for the biggest comeback win in franchise history. Dak Prescott threw for 354 yards and became the franchise's all-time leading passer, passing Tony Romo and Super Bowl champion Troy Aikman. So Dallas improves to 5-5-1. They're still on the outside looking in for the playoffs, but they host Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs this week, Thanksgiving, for another big game in Big D.
Big win. All right, live cam, 609, 72 degrees. We got cloudy skies, a little bit of rain starting to move in here around San Antonio. We'll get you that authority radar coming up, and still a full ground stop in DFW. If you're flying out this morning, know there will be some delays. We'll update you coming up.
We'll go through about 4,000 volunteers this week just preparing the meal for Thursday.
Nearly 30,000 people will need to be fed this week. And up next, volunteers with the Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner show us how many turkeys it's going to take. 6:13. Volunteers with the Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner will be working hard to feed nearly 30,000 people this week. And KSAT reporter Devin Carr breaks down just how many turkeys it's going to take and the increased demand for this year.
We couldn't do it without the help of the volunteers. So we thank you.
This is what one man started, but it's also now a San Antonio tradition.
Patricia Jimenez and her family work hard to keep their father's legacy alive and well in San Antonio.
We are in the kitchen nonstop until we prepare the last bit of food on Wednesday.
We've got all kinds of volunteers coming in from across the city. We'll go through about 4,000 volunteers this week just preparing the meal for Thursday. And so, yeah, it takes a village to make this happen.
Everybody's firing on all cylinders here, preparing turkeys and all the sides, feeding around 29,000 people here in person and around 4,600 people who are homebound.
We started to receive a lot of phone calls, and when you hear the desperation in people's voices, you realize that there's going to be a greater need.
That's one of the biggest crowds they've ever had. Last year, they bought 550 turkeys. This year, they needed to buy 678.
It is so amazing to see people give their time to come and help and serve the greater good. It's amazing, and every year our volunteer pool gets bigger and bigger, and it's so beautiful.
So it's really lovely to see so many people coming together, and whether you're on the giving end or on the receiving end, everybody will be rewarded.
It's a lot of pressure, but well worth the effort, as this family looks to make sure that the Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving food is a permanent staple of San Antonio.
That was his goal, to always do more, to serve more. So he and my mom would be absolutely delighted that the community continues to come together.
Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All right, so obviously we're talking about Thanksgiving there, but we already know there are a lot of families who are traveling to get to and from their families for the holidays. And we actually looked into this because meteorologist Justin Horn was mentioning there is a ground stop happening in Dallas, and we want to see how that's impacting people who are traveling from here. So if you go to flysanantonio.com, type in Dallas specifically. That's what I did. And as you can tell, there are a few flights that are being impacted. For example, if you have a flight that is coming on Southwest Airlines going to Dallas Love, 5:55 a.m. That flight has been canceled. We have one that's coming in on American, got Dallas Fort Worth. It's supposed to take off at 7 a.m. That has been canceled. One that was supposed to take off and from Southwest Airlines at Dallas Love at 7:10. That has been canceled. So again, throughout this entire list, there are multiple flights that have been canceled or somewhat delayed. So make sure if you guys are flying today, you need to go to this website just to check the status of your flight. You can go directly to your airline flight figure that out too. But again, flysanantonio.com, type in Dallas if that is one of your connecting spots of some sort, and you'll see just how much if you're on time or canceled and have to rearrange your whole plans to begin with. But we're going to be following this closely. Hopefully we have less headaches coming from our area, but with that ground stop taking place, you might need to take that in consideration. Right now, outside of the airs, let's go straight to the roadways. With Traffic Authority, RJ Marquez, how are we looking?
All right, been very busy in the traffic world as well, Jeff. So you're taking a look at this video that we just put into our system. This is a water main break that has shut down a stretch of Broadway over by Josephine. So this is going to be affecting all of our drivers, not only on Broadway Street, which again is shut down both directions there as we have SAWS crews on the scene. But this is going to be affecting all of our traffic around Alamo Street, Avenue B, and of course the Pearl, which is right there on the other side of the highway. So we're continuing to gather more information out there, likely going to be affecting some of the businesses out there by Broadway near Josephine Street, and also anyone that kind of lives around that area as well. If we come back out to our maps here real quick, I guess just want to show you guys North Alamo still open, Avenue B still open, and not really affecting anything on the highway, but that chunk of Broadway Street is going to be very busy. All right, let's talk about this ongoing situation. We got our TransGuide folks kind of adjusting some traffic here because we are now learning that it looks like 35, our northbound traffic right here at 410 may be shut down for a while here after a crash. What's being reported as a rollover crash. Alex Gomez is headed out to this scene, and you see that this is just stop and go traffic at the moment. Here's our map kind of showing you some of the backups. So things have started to back up not only past Walsham, but over by Eisenhower Road. I would suggest exiting Redmond Road a little bit further south than this, trying to get on Austin Highway, but obviously Fort Sam is also a little bit further south, so that's going to make things a little bit more difficult to kind of navigate around this one entire stretch. So again, our Alex Gomez is headed out to this scene to check out the very latest. So not only do we have this, but an ongoing situation with that water main break north of downtown. So very busy. We'll continue to track everything that you need to know before you step outside. Let's go to Justin, our Weather Authority meteorologist, for the very latest. Justin?
And RJ, I'm afraid it's going to get a little busier for you because now we're starting to see wet roads around the city too. So this could add insult to injury. Thankfully, it's not a big commute day because people are either off or school is out, but do know that there will be some wet roads, and we've got these pockets of heavy rain now setting up. So let me put this into motion for you. We've seen these thunderstorms kind of work from the southwestern portion of our viewing area now into San Antonio. And just know that these are moving pretty fast. You're not going to get a ton of rain out of them. But where you see these red colors, that's where we're detecting some heavier rain. That's right around Lackland. Now moving up towards Highway 90. So 90 is you're heading in and out of town. You're seeing wet roads right now. And then I'm going to come up here to Leon Valley. That's a place where we're seeing another little cell pop up. No lightning strikes with this. But it is going, let me pause it too so we can get a better vantage here. But this is going to cross over Bandera Road and work its way up towards near Brandeis High School over to Oakland Estates. And then we've got another little cell up here around Helotes. So all of this to say, we've got showers and a couple storms moving through San Antonio at this hour. Do know that that is, again, going to create some wet roads. 72 at the airport. We're not seeing any rain there right now, but of course, as Jaffney showed you, we are getting delays because of the issues to our north. Southerly winds at about 9, and here's what we're expecting today. Showers, a couple thunderstorms this morning. This is midday. We're going to continue to see some rain. It's not until 4 p.m. that this little front moves through. It's not a strong front, but enough to stir up some rain. Once this moves through around 4 o'clock, we'll clear out rapidly by dinner time, and this evening will be quite nice as we get clear skies. But do know until then, rain is in the forecast. Don't think we're going to see any severe weather. If we're going to see any, that's going to generally be off to our north and east. But if you are traveling in that direction, please note that there will be some severe weather up across parts of East Texas. So 40% chance of rain through roughly 4 o'clock. And then we'll see things clear out tonight. Temperatures will be around 76. And real quick, this is what Jaffney was talking about. Ground stop at DFW and Dallas Love, for that matter, for at least another 30 minutes or so as storms move through DFW. All right, 82 tomorrow, sunny skies, 67 on Wednesday, gusty winds with a cold front. And it will be cooler for Thanksgiving Day, 66. Notice we start off at 43. Sprinkles on Friday with clouds returning. And we've got showers and storms over the weekend. I know that was a pretty quick view of the extended forecast here. You can go to KSAT.com if you want to look at it in greater detail.
Obviously, we know how frustrating it can be for travelers when it comes down to these kind of ground stops. But honestly, I would rather be safe than sorry, especially if it's weather related.
Sure.
So everybody just pack your patience, chill out for a second, you'll get there.
That's right.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Justin. 621 right now, 72 degrees outside.
Tragedy at sea. A family speaking for the first time, revealing what the FBI says about a particular death in their family, coming up.
All right, welcome back. Your Just Ask Justin question today has to do with turkeys because, you know, it's Thanksgiving week. What is a turkey's most important survival skill? Is it its ability to play dead? Perfect eyesight, keen hearing, or speed? You can vote. KSAT.com/poll. Scan the QR code. You answer in 30 minutes.
All right, and we're looking at a major shutdown right now of 35. This is going to be on the northeast side of town. We have got several emergency crews on the scene. 35 right here, Walsham Road, completely shut down after a crash that happened maybe about 30 minutes or so ago. We're going to get you updated on this. Also, that water main break north of downtown, also coming up at 6:30.
You already know it's not a good day for San Antonio police when they have to arrest someone who happens to be naked. That's what happened after this bizarre HEB robbery. We're going to talk about how police ended up having to chase down that suspect who, let's just say, was in a much different attire than what he started off with. Plus, miraculously, a man is in stable condition this morning after being shot in the head. What happened at a nightclub and what you need to do to help police find the person who pulled the trigger.
And Broadway Street right now is going to be completely flooded due to a water main break. Coming up, we'll give you details on the new downtown closure.
Are you hitting the road today? We're going to look at some of the travel issues across the state and the extended forecast going through Thanksgiving coming up.
He allegedly did a robbery at HEB and then stripped down naked before his arrest. We got the bizarre details on this case of nudity.
Well, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, but after you're done with all that turkey stuffing and all that good food, you're going to have a load of leftovers. Coming up on GMSA, we're going to tell you the best ways to keep your food fresh.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Right now, 6:30 right now. It is a jam-packed morning. Again, we started off peaceful, but a lot of things are taking place in our weather world and our traffic authority world. So let's get right to it with Drive Cam. I know photojournalist Alex Gomez has been out and about all morning long.
Yeah, good morning, Japhanie. And take a look at one of the vehicles involved on that major rollover crash that's being reported on the northeast side. This is going to be on the northbound lanes of I-35 North, right before Walsham. And here is where I'm trying to get to. So bear with me right now. I'm still on the access road, but right now I can tell you that the northbound lanes are going to be completely shut down. You're going to have to stay on you're actually being diverted to exit Walsham to get on the access road right there. But I'm going to see if I can find a good parking spot, but just know that 35 northbound going to be shut down. The southbound lanes, however, not being affected by this, Japhanie, and I can give you more details coming up the next time we talk.
All right, thank you very much for that, Alex. And yes, a major mess. Let's come back out to our TransGuide traffic cameras. Here's the other end of that crash, and you're basically looking at all the main lanes of 35 North right here at Walsham completely shut down after that rollover collision that we just saw from Alex's shot. So let's take you out to one of our other cameras and show you just some of the backup we're seeing right now. We're looking at about an hour delays for all of our drivers coming up 35. Obviously, you're coming in on 35, trying to get to 410. You're going to have to find some alternate options. So let's kind of help you out with that. Now, you could still potentially exit Ritterman Road, but traffic is backing up quickly. We just saw the camera there at Eisenhower, or you could take FM 78. That'll help you navigate through this on the east part of 35 right there, or try and take Austin Highway as well. So Ritterman, Austin Highway, that may be a potential option. If you're coming up from the Alamo Heights area, I would definitely suggest taking Austin Highway to kind of navigate around this entire closure, 35 at Walsham Road. Now, keep in mind, there's also construction taking place a little bit further up the road over by Randolph Boulevard. So very, very busy for our folks out there. But this is the other case that we've been following. This is the other breaking news. We have got a major water main break north of downtown over by the Pearl. So take a look. This entire stretch of Broadway Street still shut down after a water main break, which we basically found out about around 4 o'clock this morning. North Alamo Street, Avenue B, those are some ways to navigate around this. You see that every traffic around here, the Pearl's starting to get a little bit busy. Let's show you some video. There we go. We have this video. Alex was out here earlier covering this scene before we got word of that crash on the northeast side. So again, Broadway near Josephine, we have got just a river right there on Broadway, which has completely shut down that entire chunk of it. We're still waiting on word on how some of these businesses in that area may be affected. If you live around the area, chances are you're waking up to some lower water pressure this morning, because we're definitely feeling that right here at our station in the downtown San Antonio area. So again, we'll continue to follow the very latest here. Also on the northeast side, major crash there, shutting down all northbound lanes of 35 at Walsham. Let's go to our Weather Authority meteorologist, Justin Horn, who's been very busy as well following some storms. Justin?
Yeah, you know, we have flooding there on Broadway. It's not due to showers and storms, but we do have some rain this morning that could cause some minor street flooding in spots. We've seen this move pretty fast, so I don't think we're going to get a ton of rain out of this. But let me zoom in on where we're getting some of these downpours right now. Right around the Frost Bank Center, seeing some pretty decent rain. And then right over downtown, we're seeing a nice little downpour here. Again, these are moving at a pretty quick clip, so we're talking about 2 or 3 minutes of rain here, and then these kind of move along. But we know that wet roads can often cause some issues here in San Antonio, so that's why this is of some concern this morning. A little bit heavier rain down here along 410 where it intersects with I-35. You're getting some good rain back over towards McDonough. And this is also working off to the north and east. So this will cross over around Palo Alto College and work its way up I-35, all areas that we're watching right now. 40% chance of rain through, say, the first half of the day, at least through 4 p.m. And then we'll see things clear tonight, 76. Headlines, drizzle showers, a storm or two through 4 p.m. Look for a cold front by sunrise Wednesday, windy and colder, and yes, a cooler Thanksgiving, guys.
All right, thank you very much for that, Justin. Well, we're expecting an update on how many residents were displaced and whether investigators have pinpointed what caused 2 fires at the same apartment complex within hours. San Antonio firefighters were called out twice in less than a day to the Mark at Huebner Oaks apartment complex. The first fire started just before 10 p.m. on Saturday night, spreading through common walls and into the attic. Part of the internal floor also collapsed as crews worked to put it out, but thankfully no one was hurt. Then around 11 o'clock in the morning yesterday, that same building reignited. Firefighters knocked down the second blaze and kept crews on scene for hours to make sure that it did not spark again. Again, the cause of both of these fires still under investigation.
6:34 right now. SAPD getting a closer look inside the Southside HEB after a bizarre robbery that ended with a naked man arrested. We can learn today whether more charges are coming, but here's what happened. They say 38-year-old man smashed the glass case at the Bella Jewelry pop-up inside of HEB on South Zarzamora near Southwest Military. This happened around 4:30 Saturday afternoon. Well, he tried to get away. A shopper stepped in to stop him, but was hit by the suspect's car and taken to the hospital. Officers then later found the suspect's car nearby and caught up with him running off completely nude. According to the preliminary report, he's now facing a charge of felony aggravated robbery. Also, police are continuing their search for the gunman after a man was shot in the head near a far north side club. Investigators asking anyone with information to come forward. The shooting happened near Loop 1604 as the victim was leaving a club with friends following some kind of argument. Another group reportedly opened fire, striking the man in the head, but he was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Get this, authorities are still searching for that shooter.
Hey there, you're watching GMSA. I'm Patty Santos. The holidays are here. That means the number of domestic violence calls to 911 already on the rise. Listen to this. Last year, all of last year, there were more than 58,500 calls to 911 to SAPD and to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The city of San Antonio says statistically, family disturbance calls go up about 25% during the November and December months. And this morning, violence prevention advocates want to tell those victims that they are not alone. And abuse looks different for different people, but it can include physical, emotional, psychological, verbal, financial, and being with someone who is controlling. Anyone who's listening this morning who might be ready to leave an abusive relationship, but they want to talk about it with a professional. There are violence prevention advocates at every San Antonio police substation. At the Prue station, there are 4. Citywide, there are a total of 36 advocates. And you can just walk into any police substation and ask to talk to an advocate. They will hear you out and give you some possible options. They will not force you to do anything.
To the families where children are experiencing domestic violence, just know that there's help out there. They're not here alone. It may feel like that, whether there be financial burdens or things that may be holding them in, trying to keep the family together. You know, there's all sorts of factors, cultural, religious, things like that. But we want them to know that there are services available.
And advocates urge friends and family who know someone in an abusive relationship to support them and to listen to them without judgment. Pressuring them to leave if they're not ready could actually put them at risk. On your screen right now, there is a QR code that's going to take you to our KSAT page that's going to provide you with resources. Please click on that and get the help if you need it. Reporting from downtown, I'm Patty Santos. We'll send it back to you.
All right, live cam showing us that we still have some rain around here. It's going to be actually a beautiful sunrise because we are seeing some breaks in the cloud cover and the rain as well. But those showers and even a few storms working their way across San Antonio at this hour. We're going to give you a full Authority radar update coming up.
And I-35 on the northeast side completely shut down over here by Waltham after a rollover crash. Looks like we are starting to reopen some of these main lanes, but this is still causing some major traffic tie-ups. We're going to give you an update on this. Also, a water main break, which is causing some major issues for all of our folks in the downtown area.
After your belly is full from that Thanksgiving feast, you'll probably have a lot more left over. Up next, we're talking about the best ways to keep your turkey sides and pies fresh for later.
6:42, welcome back to GMSA. Well, once you're done with your Thanksgiving feast this week, the battle with leftover turkey begins. Erica Hernandez has the top tips to keep your food safe and your fridge happy.
Thanksgiving is a time to share a nice meal and some laughs with friends and family. But after the turkey, stuffing, and mashed potatoes are gone, and that last piece of pie is claimed, you're left with a load of leftovers.
To preserve freshness and quality foods, you really want to keep things airtight.
Consumer Reports tests have found that nothing's more airtight for food storage than a vacuum sealer. Testers found this tried and true food saver model is quick and easy to use. If you prefer using vacuum containers, the Willings Starter Set is CR's top pick. During testing, it kept food fresh for 10 days in the fridge. How about a reusable option? CR says these silicone bags from W&P Porter are soft, pliable, and easy to clean. And if you're totally cashed from cooking and just want to get the leftovers in the fridge ASAP, you'll want a way to seal your serving bowls and plates. Reynolds Pitmaster's Choice is the strongest foil CR tested. Great if you're grilling anything this turkey day.
It did so well in our puncture test, and because it's really strong, you can reuse it and save money.
But if it feels too thick to you, Amazon Basics foil is a great backup. CR says Stretch Tight's BPA-free plastic wrap is strong, sticks well, and rips cleanly thanks to its built-in cutter. Whether you are cooking or just eating all day, your work is done. Time to take to the couch for some football. Erica Hernandez.
All right, that was Erica Hernandez reporting. Obviously, there are the Thanksgiving tips right there, but now we got to get into that travel that a lot of families might be getting on the road. And we do have some good updates for you. I know meteorologist Justin Horn was talking about that ground stop that was taking place in Dallas due to weather. It's been lifted at 6:45, so a minute ago, but ever since we first showed you this last hour, we do have some scheduled flights that are now on time. Unfortunately, if you are going to Dallas Fort Worth, Dallas Love, I say this one right here, leaving out at 7 a.m. Your flight is still canceled. Dallas Love right there, leaving out at 7:10. Flight is canceled. And then there's one more right here. If you're living from Dallas or going to Dallas Love on Southwest, that too is canceled at 10:25. But everything else appears to be on time. So again, less headaches out there. We don't know if these going to have updates, but we're obviously going to stay on top of this throughout the rest of this hour and GMSA Plus and so on and so on, just to see, make sure you guys get to your destinations on time. Especially getting to your destination on time, that might not be the case for our drivers on the northeast side. So let's get to our traffic authority, Alex Gomez, who's on the roadways right now. He's been at this crash that has been really rocking the roadways. What's going on, Alex?
Yeah, good morning, Jeffrey. So I found a safe place to park, and I've been at the scene just keeping an eye on it for about 15 minutes now, and I can tell you that the scene hasn't really changed much. This is what it looks like. It's a 3 multi-vehicle accident. One of them completely rode over. I'm hearing that it's a van right there that's on its side. So this is what shut down the main lanes of I-35 northbound right at Waltham, and traffic is pretty bad as well. The access road already pretty backed up, and also the main lanes is going to be slow from 35 northbound right at Waltham all the way down past Rittiman now, reaching the I-35 410 interchange. So I'm also in tune to the police scanners, and I'm hearing that SAPD is going to try to at least open one lane up, Jeffney. I'll let you know, though.
All right, thank you very much for that update, Alex. On the northeast side of town, a major crash out there for our drivers making their way out at 6:46 in the morning. Let's come back out to our maps and kind of talk about some alternate routes here. So there's the map that we just saw in Alex's shot. Basically, all of our traffic from Waltham over by Roosevelt High School, further south Eisenhower, and now backing up past Rittiman Road. Alex mentioned that this is now stretching into parts of the 410-35 interchange. Here's a look at the shots at Eisenhower Road. You can see that traffic has been diverted off to the frontage road, completely blocked on the northbound lanes of 35. So all of my drivers coming up right now over 35, 410, you could exit 78 if you want to get to the eastern parts of this one entire stretch of the highway, or if you're coming in from the Alamo Heights area, obviously you could take Broadway a little bit further up to parts of Austin Highway as well. So just a lot of activity. There's a shot at what things are looking like there on the northeast side of town. Real quick, Broadway Street, this chunk right here near North Alamo and Avenue B still closed, shut down this morning because of a major water main break, which we're seeing some video out there of this over by the Pearl. We'll continue to track both incidents. Let's go to our Weather Authority meteorologist, Justin Horn, for the very latest. Justin.
Sarah, we're still seeing some showers working their way through the city at this hour, and they've weakened just a little bit as they've moved through town, but rain nonetheless. From downtown San Antonio back over to the SeaWorld area. There's 410 right there. Over towards Lackland, seeing a little bit of rain. Let's put this into motion for you so you can get an idea of the movement here. We'll do it over the last 30 minutes. And you can see we've had some weakening as these showers and storms move through, but rain nonetheless. Another little heavier cell up here around Helotes. I should add that along Highway 16, seeing some heavier rain there, and that'll work up towards Leon Springs. And very quickly, I did want to show this stronger cell down here, which is producing some lightning. And this is working its way between Pleasanton and Floresville along 97 here, and this will work into Floresville within the next 20 to 30 minutes. Again, not severe, but putting down some good rain, and you're going to see some lightning strikes with this. So this is the futurecast. We have rain chances that will continue out ahead of this front until about 4 p.m. Once this moves through, we get some clearing and our rain chances come to an end. So by 5, 6 o'clock this evening, skies will clear and it will be much nicer outside with regard to humidity. 40% chance of rain until then, though, and we'll keep that going again until 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then by 5 p.m., rain chances really fall off and we go partly cloudy. Temperatures top out at 76 degrees today. Very quickly, Jaffney updated you. Looks like we're now seeing moderate delays in DFW versus that ground stop. That's good news. We should see improvements on some of the flights going in there. And very quickly, your Thanksgiving forecast, 66 degrees is what we're forecasting right now. No rain, mostly clear skies. Looks like a great Thanksgiving. So let's put it all together for you. 82 tomorrow, cooler and windy Wednesday. We showed you Thanksgiving, cloudy and sprinkles on Friday, and then some rain chances return this weekend. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning. You just saw the turkey there for Thanksgiving. My question to you is, what is a turkey's most important survival skill? Is it the ability to play dead, perfect eyesight, keen hearing, or speed? We got votes for all of them, but eyesight is leading the way.
It is perfect eyesight.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Final answer? Okay. Yes, I'm going to go with the audience as well. Give me perfect eyesight for the win.
You guys are so... Oh, gosh.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry. You guys are so good. Yes, it is perfect eyesight. And some interesting facts here that turkey's eyesight is said to be, I don't know why that's up there, but 3 to 4 times better than humans. They also have a wide 270-degree view due to the placement of their eyes because they're on the side, you know, not the front. So, yeah, they have like 20/30 vision, which is pretty impressive.
It's like that bird off of Moana, right?
Yes.
Yes, he has them eyeballs. Okay, here we go. 6:49 right now, 72 degrees outside.
All right, coming up on GMSA Plus today, we're expecting an update on what the Trump administration plans to do to address rising healthcare costs.
Right now, we are looking at the scene of the northeast side rollover crash. This is going to be on 35 northbound right at Walsham, and the main lanes are still going to be shut down on the northbound side. But I can tell you that we are in the clearing stages now. We have multiple wreckers now on scene, so maybe we can get this cleared up for the 7 o'clock drivers coming in on the roadways right now. But the access road going to be tied up this morning on the northbound lanes. The main lanes is going to be slow from Walsham all the way down to the I-35 410 interchange this morning, RJ.
All right, thank you very much. As we give you a look there from Drive Cam, obviously a pretty serious crash for our folks out there on the northeast side of town. Let's kind of break down some alternate options for you. You're about to step outside. We know that we've got some folks that maybe already are off for the Thanksgiving holiday, but traffic's still backed up significantly over here. This is about an hour delay for all of our drivers that are coming up on 35 past the 410 interchange. Now, FM 78, that's a potential option for you to navigate through some of this. We also have you could exit early on at Ritterman Road, but this is going to be affecting all of our folks. Walsham, Eisenhower, you see that this is stop and go traffic at this point. We are not seeing anyone really get through any of the main lanes there. And Alex will continue to cover the very latest for our drivers on the northeast side of town. Real quick update right here. This one stretch of Broadway, this entire block has been closed because of major water main breaks. So we first started to notice this around 4 o'clock this morning. We're still going about 3 hours strong here with this water main break. At last check, it was still spilling water onto Broadway. So we'll get you updated. North Alamo Street, Avenue B, over by the Pearl. Those are going to be your options to kind of navigate some of the activity that we're seeing out here. So again, 2 major things that we're following. We'll give you more updates as we get into GMSA Plus. Let's go to our Weather Authority meteorologist Justin Horn for a check of today's forecast. Justin, it's been very busy also in the weather department.
Yeah, we've had some showers work across San Antonio, although we've seen a general decrease in this activity as it moves through the city. Still some wet roads, though. We still may see some showers, a heavier storm. We're watching that, too, down near Floresville. That will affect Floresville here within the next few minutes. Expect some lightning strikes and some brief heavy rain there. After these showers pass, I still think we have a chance for just some light drizzle and maybe some showers and maybe even a storm. I can't rule that out, but all of this between now and 4 p.m. and then after 4 p.m. a front will slide through that will clear us out this evening and temperatures will make their way up to 76. I want to throw up the extended forecast because I know this is important to a lot of folks and we're going to kind of sit on this for a little bit so you can study it. We had to kind of breeze through it a little bit earlier, but 82 coming up tomorrow, clear skies. We get a pretty strong front that comes through Wednesday morning. That brings gusty winds, so know that we'll see gusts 30 to 35 Wednesday morning. The other big story here is 43 Thursday morning. So Thanksgiving morning, it will be chilly. Most of Thanksgiving will be beautiful, but clouds do roll in Thursday night. We'll get clouds Friday, maybe a few sprinkles, and then we get some rain chances returning this weekend. If you are planning to travel home on Saturday and Sunday, I know you may encounter some rain.
All right. Happy Monday, guys. Again, stick around because GMSA Plus continues after this short break with KSAT Plus. More of your updates on the rain, more of the updates on the water main break, and so much more.
What?